Hello and welcome to Wheel Thing TV. I'm Dave Knoll. In this week's episode we're checking out the reborn Subaru WRX. Well, it's certainly a complete change from the previous model. It's got a whole lot more angular. There has been a few comments though about the front end of the Impreza, and it has a very similar profile to Mitsubishi Lancer. I can kind of see it, mainly because of that bonnet line going across, but then again, look, it's getting to the way that most cars are starting to look like each other anyway. The big air intake, of course, for the 2-litre turbo engine looks fantastic and really gives the impression that this is a very muscular car to deal with. At the rear end of the car, as you can see, we've got the quad pipes. Looks the goods, sounds absolutely horny when it's up and running, but of course there's been a bit of a redesign for the taillight section as well. Looks a whole lot more cleaner. The car that we're looking at this week is the entry-level WRX, and of all things it's powered by an old-fashioned key. Information on the dash available via a information button just on the side of the steering wheel here. But up on front you've got your turbo dial, digital little dash, and it really shows how much power the engine is putting out when required. Entry-level car comes with a single CD and radio setup and some very tastefully done dials for the air conditioning. Out on the road, the WRX entry level is a little bit hard on the suspension. There's been a few people say that they felt like their spines were shattering and teeth were falling out and things like that. But it is a hard-edged sports car, and that's the thing I think people have to remember. And that bump that you felt was the fact we're going over not a terribly big speed bump. So we're getting that kind of suspension feedback. You just have to sort of wonder why people are whinging about the fact that this is intended to be a sports car. Behind that screen at the top, you do have some information available via this enter button. You can scroll through, you've got your clock, you've got your radio, your fuel consumption, your average fuel consumption when it's been going through, and you've got torque splits, your wheels, overall consumption, oil pressures, acceleration gauge, all those kind of things, and it's quite a handy little piece of information. The WRX comes with some fairly impressive rubber, to say the least. And they're very, very grippy. They've got a 235 by 45 profile sitting on some lovely 17-inch alloys. The grip on these things, these Dunlop tyres, are fantastic. Throw them in the corners and it's literally like being on some train rails. You're going to go nowhere else except where you point the car. And there's the reason for all the fun. 197 kilowatt 2-litre boxer engine, 350 newton meters of torque, which kicks off from around 2500 RPM in real terms. Once that turbo boost kicks in, it is just a lightning bolt to drive. In a suburban environment with the 6-speed manual, there are times when it's actually easier to have the car in either 4th or 5th gear, primarily because then it's closer to when the turbo boost kicks in, makes it a whole or drivable, doesn't fall into the turbo hole, and when you do need to accelerate, you're already there, you don't have to worry about shifting gears. The WRX at the entry level comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox, or at least the test car that I've driven has had that. It's been an absolute cracker. It's very flexible, a little bit harsh on the ride, but it is a sports-oriented car, so I take that into consideration. It's well finished on the inside. It's got a lovely feel to it, soft touch plastics, and the cloth trim, well, you know, it's an entry-level car. You'll get leather in the premium and, of course, going up to the STI. Had an absolute whale of a time with this particular car, and for pricing, check out subaru.com.au. For Wheel Thing TV, I'm Dave Knoll.